What's up, everybody? This is your boy, Mr. Pound for Pound himself. Definitely back up in this house with my boy, Mr. G Funk. And we are doing the part 2 video where we're going to be talking about just briefly on the Mayweather Alvarez big, huge money event fight. It's going down. You know what it is. Mr. G Funk has a message before we get into this because, with the money in it and the people in it and the race involved, it's black and Mexican. He's got a message for y'all.
Yeah, it's G-Funk here. And I've been called this, that, and the third when it comes to Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of people come to me, talking to me. I've made videos about the guy. Yeah, I've made a video called Don't Believe the Hype. And I still believe he's got a little bit of hype in him still. You know what I'm saying? I gave him his due. He finally fought somebody real at 154 in Trout. He got the win. It wasn't decisive. It wasn't dominant. He got the win. You know what I'm saying? Now we're going to see where he's really at. Because this is a different beast here. Now, I'm not a fan of Canelo. I'm not a fan of Mayweather. But if you're a real boxing fan, you have to admit Floyd Mayweather is a guy who you can consider either being the best today or the second best, wherever you want to put him. He's up there no matter what, whether you love him, you hate him. We're going to find out where this guy is at. All right? And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a hater on this guy. I'm just giving my honest opinion on Canelo Alvarez. I think he's a good fighter, not great. I've had a lot of people tell me he's great, he's this, he's that, he's the king, he's blah, blah, blah. All right? The guy's had one real fight, all right? Take it easy, okay? Take it easy. This is a good fight for him. He's going to make a lot of money, and we're going to see where he's at.
What do you think about who do you got?
Well, I'll let you talk about it first, man. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Mr. Pound for Pound in the house. We're having fun over here. We're getting ready to watch the UFC Korean Zombie versus Aldo, doing the pre-fight to this and having a ball. So, what do I think? Let's see. Mayweather versus Canelo. I mean, what can you think about this fight? It's a huge fight. I mean, I'm one of the guys, that was on Canelo's side. And, I was telling Mr. G-Funk here, this guy's going to be the next big thing. I think he's going to be probably fighting Mayweather, whatever. We're here. The day has come and the Nello is here. And I am, I'm a fan of the guy. And I'm also, going to be unbiased about this because I'm a fan about Mayweather. I like them both. I've been watching Mayweather longer. I know what he can do in the ring. This kid, though, Canelo, has impressed me. I watched a lot of boxing, seen a lot of fighters, and just something when I seen him for the first time, I said, hey, yo, this dude reminds me just like a little Mexican Tyson, a little bit. Not really, he doesn't have the Tyson-type power, but just his style, the way he holds his hands, the way he moves side to side, and I just like him. He looks solid. He's a solid base type of fighter. He's beat some names. I mean, we could talk about, beat Austin Trout, Lopez, Shane Mosley, Kermit Cintron, Gomez, Ryan Rhodes, Matthew Hatton. I mean, some pretty good people. You got Mayweather on the flip side who just come off with Guerrero, beating Cotto, Ortiz, Mosley, oh, look at these guys, man. I mean, come on, come on, man. You see what I'm looking at here? Mr. G-Funk, come on. You see what I'm looking at here? I'm looking at these records. This is my problem, okay? I love Mayweather, but this is my problem. We have a young, strong, hungry Mexican fighter with style. This is what I like about Canelo. He has style, right? He's not your natural Mexican come forward fighter. He's dangerous. I think he's more dangerous because he can do that, but he has some style with it. We saw with the Austin Trout fight, he moved his head and was bobbing and weaving. It looked like he almost out-rhythmed Trout at some points. With, Mayweather's very rhythmic. He's going to have a lot of problems with the speed. I don't know yet. I haven't really made my prediction about this fight. I'm up in the air. What is your prediction, Mr. G-Funk?
Well, I want to mention a quick prediction of mine that already came true, if that's what you want to say, whatever. But when I did my post-fight for the Trout versus Canelo and Mayweather versus Guerrero, I had said at the end of both of those videos that I think that this is a fight that's going to be made this year, that has to be made this year, and that a fight that I want to see. And it happened because obviously it makes sense, you know? If Floyd Mayweather's a guy who says he's all about money, that's the only color that matters to him is green, then you better fight Canelo Alvarez because it's the biggest fight out there next to Manny Pacquiao. But Pacquiao's, you know, he's
got to rebuild.
Yes, his light is kind of dim right now.
He's got to rebuild.
Yeah. Anyway, one thing I want to mention quickly too before I get into my actual prediction is the catchweight. The catchweight, you know,
only 152.
I don't like catchweights, man. I hate them. I understand it's only 2 pounds, and I understand that Canelo came into the fight against Oscar. I think he weighed 153 pounds at the weigh-in.
Yeah, he did.
So, you know, I know people say, well, it's only 1 more pound. I understand that, but why are you fighting a guy for his belt at a catchweight? That's the thing I don't understand. I mean, they both have belts in the division, but I just don't like catchweights. I'm not a fan of it. To me, catchweights always favor the smaller guy. Do you agree with that?
I don't know if I agree with that, man. I'm up in the air about the catchweights. We've had this conversation. I don't know. I think a little different about catchweights. I actually like catchweights. I don't mind them. The reason why is Sugar Ray Robinson. If there weren't catchweights, he would probably be, well, he fought back then. I mean, they had to make catchweights for those fighters back then. They were just so great, but they were so outmatched by sizes. Huh?
There's less, weight divisions.
Correct, less weight divisions. I don't have no problem with the catchweight. If a guy's really good, wiping out his division, and there's a guy that's really good and just doesn't have competition in his division, and he's a little bigger, why not make the fight happen? So I say, catchweights, I don't have no problem with them. But, I do. I mean, I have one problem with the catchweight, and the only problem is they always leave that question of what if. There's always a what if, and there's always, some kind of excuse because the catchweight, and it's either or. Mayweather wins. If he outspeeds Canelo and outruns him around, they're going to say, oh, well, it was a catchweight. Mayweather was hella faster. If Canelo goes in there and ices him, then people are going to say, oh, he was too powerful for him, the catchweight. That's one thing I don't like about catchweights. But
too much gray area with the catchweight.
Yeah, it's too much gray, but I don't know. I figure at this stage Mayweather's I don't think 2 pounds matters. I don't think it might hurt Canelo though. Because Canelo's bigger.
It's definitely going to hurt Canelo in my opinion because to me, and I think even the most hardcore Canelo fan could at least admit this, that he does have stamina issues.
Yeah.
He does fight in spurts. I believe it's because, he struggles to make this weight already. So now you're forcing him to lose another 2 pounds on top of that. That's already a big advantage there. So I'm not in agreement with the catchweight. I'm just not a big fan of catchweights. Just never have been.
Correct.
So with that being said, that's one knock I already have against Canelo Alvarez right there. Going into this fight is that he's already forced to lose 2 extra pounds. Now, Mayweather's probably not even going to make the limit himself. He's probably going to come in at 148.
Yeah.
149, Canelo's going to have to lose the weight, Big advantage there. Also, big advantage as far as experience goes, Mayweather. Better competition. Defensively, I mean, nobody's really on his level right now. I mean, maybe a Rigondeaux, but, other than that, I mean, the guy's hard. He's hard to hit, especially if he's moving like he was moving against Guerrero, That's going to be a big factor in this fight, I think. If he gives Canelo a lot of foot movement, he's going to have some trouble, man, because he's not that, like you said, he's not that typical Mexican cut off the ring and just blow you out the water, you know what I'm saying? He's very patient and, he's very precise with his punches, which is a good thing, which I like that in fighters.
Absolutely. I'm going to agree and disagree a little. Of course, is what I gotta do. This is the air, This is just Mr. Pound for Pound. It's what I do. I wake up disagreeing to people. Get out of bed, have a cup of coffee, and disagree with somebody. You know what I mean? If you don't do that, your day's not good. But I'm going to disagree a little here. You know what I mean? But I'm going to agree a little. And let me agree on some things. Mayweather, definitely speed advantage. Definitely experience advantage. Foot movement advantage. Defensive advantage. And Canelo Alvarez, I would give him the size advantage. The youth advantage.
Definitely.
I would actually give them. They're pretty equal when they both have good energy as far as sharpness with their punches, I would say. Mayweather's just faster, but when Canelo does have good energy and he's not tired, his punches are sharp, they're straight. I mean, they're right down the pipe. And then he also mixes up his punches like he did against Trout, which shocked me. I didn't really expect to see him throw wide hook right hands to the body, then come back up with like a hook right hand to the head and then a straight right hand. It was just very weird. Some things that Mayweather hasn't seen lately by a bigger guy. He fought Guerrero, smaller guy. Mayweather doing his thing, smaller guy. And we got to admit, when I watched the fight, I felt like Guerrero had quit around round 4 or 5. That's how I felt. I felt he kind of gave up. I saw it in his face, like, oh, I'm just out of my league. It sounded good in the pre-fight. Sounded good in the video and the post. Oh, I'm not afraid of him. But in the ring, it just looked like that. And Mayweather just ran circles around the guy. I don't know if he'll be able to do that against Canelo. Canelo's not super busy, but he's busy when he needs to be. I think that Canelo had the harder fight in Trout than Mayweather did with Guerrero. I think Trout was actually the better competition. He threw more punches. He was throwing them from different angles. He's a way bigger guy than Guerrero. Harder, stiffer, thudding punches. And I don't know, man. I think Mayweather could box circles around him, but I also see Canelo being this brick wall. I don't know if Mayweather could break down. He's young. He's young and he's confident. He's got the whole Mexican fucking every raza behind him, you know what I mean? And I'm part Mexican myself. But I don't know. This is a good one for me. I haven't done my prediction. I'll probably end up doing my own prediction video on this later because I'm still up in the air. Like I said, there's 2 ways I see this fight going. I don't see Mayweather icing him early. If Mayweather knocks him out, it'll be late, and it'll be off of some kind of stamina issue. I don't think he'll come in there and just bang out Canelo. I think if anyone gets banged out, it'll be the opposite way. And I'm not sure yet. I got to go back, watch some more tape, make my decision. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, very good points. I'll agree with you on a few things. Like, I definitely do feel that Trout was the better fight, other than Guerrero.
Oh yeah.
Tougher last fight for Alvarez, definitely.
Like a better warm up.
Yes.
Yeah, a better tune up.
I think I had just mentioned this to you right before we started doing this, that I think that Canelo. I wish he would have fought Lara first. And the reason why I say that is because, let's say, hypothetically, he fights Lara instead of Trout and beats Lara, just like he did Trout. Close fight, but he gets the win. To me, I think Lara's style is more closer to a Floyd Mayweather than Austin Trout. Then I think he'd be a little bit more ready for this fight. Because Trout's a guy, like we all know, he throws a high volume amount of punches. Mayweather's not going to do that.
Correct.
Doesn't throw a lot of punches. He's not going to give you a lot of stuff to look at, to see, to collect data on, and to try to figure out, So it's going to be tough for this kid, man. It really is. Plus, like I said, the competition level for him, he has not seen anything like this, Kind of like Chavez Jr. versus Martinez. Didn't see a lot of styles like that. He got in the ring, lost every round, except for the last one. But, it was a shock in a way. He just wasn't used to something like that. Mm-hmm. This could possibly happen, Then again, there's the age factor with Mayweather. He's getting up there in age,
It's true.
36 is not young in boxing, but to me, he's not an old 36, know?
Yeah, he's not.
Just like a Bernard Hopkins, he's what, 40-something?
Man,
he's up
50.
He's up there, but he's not, as far as boxing goes, he's not old because he hasn't taken the punishment. He hasn't been in those kind of wars, just like Mayweather hasn't been in those kind of fights to take years off of his career. So I still believe he's still very sharp, man. It's a hard chess match he's gonna have to play. I just don't think right now he can do it. I think they threw him in there too early. I mean, this could kind of be like, especially with the catchweight, man. This could kind of be like a Donnie Lalonde versus Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
The bigger guy, the younger guy going against the older veteran.
Correct.
Just gassing out, man. And Lalonde was exhausted at the end of that fight,
Correct.
And is there a potential for a knockout? I mean, this might sound crazy, but I do, because of the weight, because of the struggles that Canelo's already had gassing out in fights, plus he's got to lose an extra 2 pounds for this fight. There's potential there for him to gas out and Mayweather take advantage of it. So I just think at the end of the day, when I really look at it, I think that Mayweather right now at this point is just too much for the kid. And I'm going to take Mayweather by unanimous decision to win. But this won't hurt Canelo. He's already got huge fans. I mean, he packed the Alamo Dome, 40,000 people, and probably 38,000 of them were there to see Canelo. So, he'll move on from this, and he'll have bigger fights. But I just think stylistically, bad matchup for him, and I'm going to go with Mayweather.
That's Mr. G-Funk right there in the house. This is Mr. Pound for Pound back in the house. You heard his prediction. As far as me, Mr. Pound for Pound, like I said, I'm not ready to make a prediction yet. I'm still thinking, still pondering. I'm still wondering about life right now. But I will say this, Mr. G-Funk, all right? I know your prediction, you got Mayweather. I don't know who I got yet. Might slide Mayweather. I might go Canelo. But I will say this. You mentioned earlier in this show that Canelo surprised you. He's made improvements. He improves every fight.
Definitely.
We saw that with Trout. We saw a different fighter in that ring. He showed some improvements that shocked me. We might see that again in the Mayweather fight. Now, one thing that I do try to keep in mind when I'm making my prediction, because I haven't made it yet, and this is one thing I try to keep in my mind, because I try to think about this. Canelo does get gassed, but he's fighting bigger guys. And in the Trout fight, he looked like he got gassed maybe, I'd say around 5 or 6. But Trout is busy and he's big. Mayweather, smaller, and like you said, Mr. G-Funk, not as busy. I don't know if Mayweather is going to be as apt to run in on Canelo as he was against Guerrero. I felt that Mayweather knew he was the stronger guy against Guerrero and just ran in and did his thing, as to where I don't think he'll be that, amped up to jump into some Canelo flurries. And I don't think he'll push a pace like Trout did. So Canelo might not get gassed. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I kind of agree, but, he's going to have to stay extremely patient, really pick his shots. And, he's going to have to stay strong mentally in the ring.
He's going to have to work that body.
Yes,
Sure.
I would love to see him go to the body. Man, I don't think enough people go to Mayweather's body. I mean, it could be because of the D.
Correct.
The defense, but...
No, I mean, he'd have to... He needs to go to Canelo's body.
Oh, yeah, he can go to Canelo's body. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, round 1.
But I would love to see Canelo go to his body as well,
I think it'd be over. And Canelo does good body punching. We saw that against Trout.
Yeah, he's a strong puncher, man. Strong.
Now, let me ask you a question, Mr. G-Funk. Would you be surprised? Because, when I think about this fight, it's huge, right? As I look at the press tours, I'm like, damn, this is pretty big. I think to myself sometimes, I'm just like, are they getting ready to change the guard? I mean, why is this such a huge event? I understand there's a lot of money, but, I mean, this thing looks like, they got confetti and shit flying all over. I mean, press tours. This thing is huge. I mean, would you be surprised if Mayweather got iced like Manny Pacquiao did last year?
Oh, I would be absolutely shocked if that happens. Definitely. Just because he's such a hard guy to hit cleanly,
Correct.
The only guys who I've ever really seen him have success, or at least hurt him, was, Jose Luis Castillo, obviously, Zab Judah, and Miguel Cotto. But all these guys use very good timing. That's one thing you have to use against a guy like Mayweather is those at those times when he does throw punches, punch with him. If you can, maybe you can clip him with something, You never know.
Definitely clip him with something. I mean, and like you said so yourself, Castillo, I thought he beat Mayweather in the first fight. He was a Mexican. He was young. We have another young Mexican fighter. A lot of promise. What will we see? Or will we see another Mayweather domination? I personally don't really care, like in my heart of hearts, who wins, because I kind of want to see Mayweather retire undefeated just because I like him for so long and I've watched him for over the years. But at the same time, I like Canelo too, and I want to see him progress. So now that they've met each other as a fan, it's like, wow, who do I go for? So, that's when you got to bring the analysts out of you and say, well, I'm a fan of both guys. Now I got to be an analyst because I can't just pick based on who I like. This is a tough fight. So I don't know. My prediction will be later, guys. I'm gonna do some more thinking and crying at night, and that's it. That's all I gotta say for today. Mr. Pound for Pound signing off. I'm gonna let Mr. G Funk sign this one out and get his last words on. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Well, this is G Funk. You all know that I'm unbiased. I'm not a fan of anybody in the sport right now. So at the end of the day, I really don't care who wins. It's going to be a huge event for boxing, and that's what we need. We need more big fights just like this. We're getting a lot of good fights that we need on the card. So at the end of the day, we all win.
Yep.
We all win. So let's just sit back, wait for the fight to come, and hopefully everybody has a good time. And, whoever comes out the victory, it's whoever. Who cares, It's all fun at the end of the day,
That's right. Now we're going to gear up and get ready to go watch the UFC and watch some dudes get knocked out. Backyard fight style. So, how they do it in the UFC, you know what I mean? They ain't like boxing, you know what I'm saying? They don't, you know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother subject, and that is coming soon. Mr. Pound for Pound is about to drop that one on you. Is the UFC... Oh, shut up. Never mind. Y'all have a good one. Mr. G Funk, Mr. Pound for Pound, signing off.
All right, special thanks to my man, Mr. Pound for Pound, for letting me come on his show and talk boxing. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, go ahead and do so for more good videos. We're going to try and do more collaborations in the future. It's really fun when you get to talk with somebody who you shared a lot of boxing with in the past. We've watched a lot of fights. We've been to a lot of fights. So, it's always fun to sit down and talk with someone like that. But as far as the fight goes, just want to say, I know a lot of you are going to be mad at me again because I picked against Canelo Alvarez. But honestly, in my opinion, I just don't think the kid's ready for this type of test yet. I truly feel like if he had taken on more stiff competition leading up to this fight, that he would have a much better shot at making it competitive or even winning the fight. But I just don't see anything that he can do to really penetrate through Mayweather's defense. He just hasn't seen enough like this. Like I said in the video with my friend Mr. Pound for Pound, I feel like if he had fought someone like a Lara before, whose style is more defensive than an Austin Trout, he might be a little bit more prepared for this fight. I'm not trying to say that Lara is just as good or his style is just like Mayweather's or anything like that. It's just it's more like it than Austin Trout's, And speaking of Austin Trout, that fight was close, So his one big test that he's had it was a close fight. There's a lot of people that think he didn't even win the fight. But it doesn't matter what we think. It only matters what the judges think, and they gave him the win, so he got the win. Close fight though. And I just don't see Canelo making these proper adjustments that he needs to make in the ring against Floyd. I don't see him just learning all that all of a sudden in one training camp. True, he has improved on little things in every fight, but he's gonna have to do a lot of things different. I feel for any fighter, if they're gonna step in the ring with Mayweather, they're gonna have to have a very, very well balanced and versatile attack. I also feel like Canelo's jab is not where it should be if you're gonna compete with Floyd Mayweather. I mean, that's the one punch that consistently gets through that Philly shell of Mayweather's. He better be working on that thing. I mean, hopefully Oscar De La Hoya is in training camp with him and showing him that good jab that he had, showing him how to stick it and how to place it in the right spots and fully commit to it when he throws it. Use some good timing like Miguel Cotto did. Cotto mixed up his attacks. He went to boxing. He forced him into some exchanges and things like that. This is what Canelo has to do in order to be successful in the ring. try to force him in some exchanges when you can here and there. You know, back off and stay patient at times. Pick your spots. You know, don't waste all your energy trying to pin him against the ropes and knock him out, because you know he does have stamina problems, and that he could run out of gas later in the fight. Not to mention the catch weight. You know, so you know, he has, like I said, there's a lot of things that he has to work on, I feel, in order to be fully prepared for this fight. And I just don't see him all of a sudden doing all of those things in, like I said, in one training camp. Could be wrong, you know, been wrong before. Won't be the first time, won't be the last time, but I just don't see it happening right now. But you know, this loss, if he does lose the fight, it won't hurt him. He's got a ton of crazy fans out there. I've battled with a lot of them on YouTube, so you know, I know how they are. And you know, you guys, this is a tough fight. You know, you have to admit it. You can't just be, oh, he's just gonna blow him out. You know, he's got so much power, this and that. You know, I mean, Mayweather's a tough task, man, and he's gonna have to be very, very prepared physically and mentally for this fight. And you know, I just don't see it happening right now. So I just want to say, if you stuck around for the entire video, I know it's pretty long, thank you very much. You know, this is a big fight card, so let's just kick back and enjoy it. And you know, hopefully whoever you're rooting for or whoever you picked wins. And like I said before, at the end of the day, it's just boxing, and we're the ones who are really coming out on top, because this is a fight that the fans wanted to see. So that's all I got. So you guys go ahead and drop your comments or whatever, and I'll get back to you. Have a good day, and this is G-Funk. I'm signing off.